Oh, no, he's one of my favorites.
Merciless Blue Shell on Reddit asks, how did you come up with the Austin 316 catchphrase?
Basically, it was a tournament-style pay-per-view. It was King of the Ring. The first guy I wrestled kicked me in the mouth. I had to go to the hospital and get 14 stitches in my upper lip. When I came back in the ambulance, the pay-per-view was still going on. A guy came and informed me that I was going to wrestle Jake the Snake Roberts in the final for the King of the Ring. At the time, Jake was going around giving religious testimonies. I was informed that he cut a religious promo on me. As soon as I heard that, and I was in a heel mode, I was the bad guy, I knew that when I beat him, because I knew what the finish was going to be, that I was going to say something in reference to John 3:16 and say, Austin 3:16 says, I just whipped your ass. It was totally spontaneous, and had no one told me that he had cut that promo, Austin 3:16 would have never been born.
That's the New Testament. Simply Sausages on Reddit wants to know, do you have any real backstage heat with any other wrestlers?
No, there's going to be times and places where you're in a bad mood and things are going kind of rough, and maybe the same guy's in the same situation. And sometimes you're going to work with guys you'd rather not work with, but at the end of the day, you always go to the ring to protect the person you're in the ring with. Your life is in their hands and vice versa. When it all comes down to it, you're there for longevity. If you get sent home due to an injury, you don't make money. So you always go to the ring with the aspect of taking care of who you're performing with.
Demetrius 1975 asks, if you could go back and change one event that happened during your wrestling career, what would it be?
That one event I referred to is when I was going to lose a match to Brock Lesnar and didn't like the creative and decided to take my ball and go home, as they said. So that would be the one.
Phil Rock 60 on Instagram. If you were to have one last match in WWE, who would you want as your opponent?
That's a great question. CM Punk.
Glenn Harrop on Facebook asks, would you come back to wrestling to have a match with CM Punk?
I would consider it, but all the stars would have to be aligned. It would have to be good for them. It'd have to be great for me.
Spastic Hero on Reddit wants to know if you regret leaving WWE.
No, I do not regret leaving. I did what I had to do, and I moved on down the road and forged another life.
And V170 on Reddit wants to know, what exactly is the bottom line?
Hey, the bottom line is whatever I say it is on how I feel passionately about a subject. I am very happy to be on the Larry King Show, and that's the bottom line.
Okay, we finished with a game called If You Only Knew. Well, do you have a guilty pleasure we don't know about?
I don't think I do.
Favorite pastime?
Hunting.
First person you ever kissed?
My first girlfriend.
What was her name?
Kathy.
How old were you?
16, 17.
16?
Hey, man, I was a shy kid, Larry.
You 14, you never kissed a girl in the back?
No, I didn't. I was shy, believe it or not.
Whatever happened to Kathy?
Married and divorced.
Oh.
Next question.
Worst thing you've ever been called?
Oh, the worst thing I've ever been called, I cannot say on this show.
When you were a bad guy, the crowd hated you, right?
Yes.
Was that fun to have them?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, because if you're there to be hated, you want to be hated. If you're there to be loved, you want to be loved. You don't want that in between. All or nothing.
What scares you in life? Are you scared of anything? Snakes, anything?
Well, I don't like snakes. I don't swim in the ocean. I live right by the ocean out here in L.A., but I don't swim because I don't want to get my leg bit off by a shark. I have a fear of sharks. I did my first research paper on sharks.
Good thing to fear.
Yeah.
You know why?
Why?
Sharks don't care.
They don't.
I've never interviewed a shark, but I have the opinion they don't care.
If I got one on the sand, I wouldn't have such a problem with him. But in the water, in his element, that's his ball game.
That's right. Best piece of advice you ever got?
Always let a cooler head prevail.
Proudest moment?
Making my parents proud. In anything I did, working hard to live up to the standards that they set for me.
And is there something no one knows about you?
Well, I'm sure there is. I'm sure there is.
You're a great
I don't know if I want to drop that dime here.
You're the best, man. Thanks to my guest, Stone Cold Steve Austin. Catch Redneck Island every Saturday at 9 p.m. Eastern on CMT. And you can download his podcast, The Steve Austin Show, on iTunes and at podcast1.com. And remember, you can find me on Twitter at King's Things. And that's the bottom line, because Larry King said so.
works in a billion-dollar business.
Sam, no longer Mr. Nice Guy, as if he ever was one.
Banging heads and busting chops for a living.
Who's the toughest SOB?
Children and adults imitate and idolize him. His co-workers like and admire the man.
Not a lot of BS in him. How do you not respect a stand-up guy like that?
He is a money-making, merchandising machine.
That one individual character has been the most successful character in the history of this genre.
And that's the bottom line, because Stone Cold said so.
Like it or not, his actions and words are part of the pop culture landscape and lexicon.
If you want me to finish this can of whoop ass, give me a hell yeah.
Stone Cold Steve Austin is a major player in the controversial spectacle